The last thing I remember thinking was, I hope I don't run out of gas. Then everything went black. When I woke up, I was lying on the cold, hard ground. My head pounded and my vision was blurry, but as I looked around, I realized that I wasn't in my car. And as I turned to run, I saw the trees swaying in the wind, their branches crashing down all around me. Its voice was like the rustling of leaves and the cracking of branches, and it told me that I was late, that I had to make a sacrifice. At first, I didn't understand what it was saying, and then everything went black. I thought it was just some kind of sick joke. But then I remembered the whispers in the forest, the ones that had been calling my name. My head pounded and my vision was blurry, but I could hear the sound of traffic in the distance. As I looked around, I realized that I was on the side of the road. My car had somehow fixed itself and the forest was nowhere in sight. But as I started to drive away, I could feel the tree's burning stare boring into my back. And then I realized that the tree was the reason I had crashed. It had lured me off the road and into the forest. It wanted me to be its sacrifice. I don't remember how long I ran for, but eventually the sound of breaking branches faded away and I found myself in a clearing. And that's when I saw it. It was a massive tree in the center of the clearing, so big that its branches had to be supported by other smaller trees surrounding it. And at the base of that tree was a pile of broken branches and leaves, almost like it had shed its skin. And as I got closer, I could see that the branches and leaves weren't the only things that had been shed. There were bones there too, human bones. In fact, I was in the middle of a forest. I tried to stand up, but my legs felt weak and wobbly like I had just run a marathon. And when I turned to go back to the road, I saw a wall of trees blocking my way. But those trees weren't like any I had ever seen before. They were tall and thin with twisted branches that seemed to reach for the sky like grasping claws. And as I stood there looking at them, I could have sworn they were moving. Suddenly, I heard a loud crack, and then another one, and then another. I don't want to sound crazy, but the next thing I remember is the tree speaking to me. I tried to run, but as I turned to face the tree, its branches lashed out and grabbed me, pulling me toward it like I was made of branches. And as I struggled to free myself, I could feel its cold, slimy bark against my skin. And then I felt its sharp, pointy needles pierce my flesh, and that's when I blacked out. The last thing I remember is the feeling of being lifted up into the air, like the tree was pulling me up into its branches. When I woke up, I was back in my car.